Now, another problem football has to sort out is the transfer window, because when will it take place? Will it be suspended? Will it be moved as well, alongside potentially the new season? Brian, definitely one for you this. What do they say?
So FIFA are looking at everything, but ultimately it's down to each association to decide what they do with their own transfer window. So in England and Scotland, the men's transfer window is scheduled to open next on June the 10th and close on September the 1st. In England, the women's transfer window is set to open on the 19th of June, close on September the 10th. In Scotland, the women's window is only open in July. And ultimately, we're still waiting for the FA and the SFA to call this in terms of what happens next. Clearly, they want some sort of a green light in terms of when football is going to resume, and that's where you would anticipate some sort of a domino effect beginning tomorrow with UEFA. So if UEFA come out and say for sure that they want their competitions, the Champions League and the Europa League, to finish at some point, that then helps English football decide to put some sort of model together about where they might want to end their season. And of course, when their season ends, when does the new season begin? What happens in the middle? And how does that transfer window evolve? Ultimately, it's for those associations to decide between themselves. There's no one overlord in terms of FIFA. It's down to each competition governing body, So in this case, it's the FA or the SFA. But big calls and big decisions to make that ultimately will be linked back to the issue on registrations and the issue on player contracts.
Mark, it's part and parcel of a football manager's job. You're forever looking at players to buy, players to sell. Again, is this another thing you've just got to put out of your mind? And is that actually realistic?
I think you have to. I think all of these conversations come back to a realistic start date. So we're looking at, you mentioned Boris Johnson earlier, Jeff, and is it when mass gatherings are permitted again? There'll be a period of 4 weeks after that, the season may recommence or resume. We have to have a start date, and all the processes, Sean, that we spoke about earlier can come into place from that point. Right now, it may be a dramatically reduced window in terms of time. It may be a 4-week window, who knows? But that work can be done behind the scenes. Until we get the start date, nothing else can go ahead.
But you would have been making plans, wouldn't you, for the summer, like all clubs are, and your targets and who you might take out the football clubs.
And you get a list, and you look at number 4 on players, for example. Our scouts can't travel now to go and see them live anyway.
No.
We can't travel to them. So you're not going to invest money, hard-earned cash, on players you've never witnessed. You have all the data you like. So all of these problems, I say these issues, we can't deal with them right now. We have to move on.
What can you actually do right now?
Right now, you can work with the players.
T's good at the training.
T's magnificent. No, do you bring your players in, for example, in smaller groups? A squad of 25. Do you bring in the 4 groups of 6 and the 7 is able to come in and work in smaller groups and do their spin class, their gym work and their running? Is that what you do? Do you avoid the gatherings of players? Because the players, as Alan mentioned earlier, will have their own doubts and worries and concerns about their family. You have to be seen to be doing the right thing for your players, and at the same time have responsibility to keep them as close to good fitness levels as possible. You can't have a 6-week pre-season to start the season again.
Because mentally, like, they switch off as well,
Absolutely.
knowing there's not a game around the corner. So as much as you want them to be at it during training, they're never going to be 100%, are they? Because they know they're not working towards a match.
But they need to see their support network. They need to see that the sports science guys are working with them, the analysts are working with them, the medical team are speaking to them on a regular basis. All of these aspects have to be covered, but keep the balance right we referred to earlier.